Hey everyone, I'm Raz the Razplay, and this week we're doing part 2 of how to craft the Ankh shield. Now, last week we covered the Bazaar and the Nazar. Those are two pre-hard mode items. You can get them in hard mode as well, but they're two pre-hard mode items to craft the Ankh shield. Now, this week we're going to be doing their counterparts, the Adhesive Bandage and the Megaphone. Now, the Adhesive Bandage combined with the Bazaar makes the Medicated Bandage. We'll get to that a little bit later on. And the Megaphone combined with the Nazar makes the Counter Course Mantra. Now, we're doing this specifically for a reason today, and we'll show you later on. But before that, let's get into it and show you how to find the Adhesive Bandage and the Megaphone. Alright, so first, we're looking at the Adhesive Bandage. Now, we're hanging out in the dungeon. I'll show you why in a little bit. We're also avoiding the entrance because if, a certain somebody here attacks a couple of cultists at the door and I get a pull problem in my hands, I don't want to deal with that. So, we're going to deal with the Adhesive Bandage from down here. Now, the Adhesive Bandage grants immunity to bleeding. Not only that, but you combine it with the Bazaar to make the Medicated Bandage. So we're going to show you where to set up little areas so you can get one to drop and make your life easier. And the first place we're going to is the dungeon. Now, this will be the hardest area to get the Adhesive Bandage, but let's get it out of the way, and then we'll go from there. Sound good? Good. Alright, so there are 3 different mobs that you can get to drop the Adhesive Bandage. The first one being Anglerfish, second being Werewolves, and third being why we're here right now. That would be the Rusty Armored Bones. Now, the Rusty Armored Bones only shows up post-Plantera, which means if you're post-Plantera and you're here in the dungeon and you're looking for the Adhesive Bandage, you might have a bad day. It's a tricky area. I would highly recommend getting it anywhere besides here, but if you're here, I can at least show you how to grab it. Now, it's Rusty Armored Bones, who shows up post-Plantera. They have a 1 in 100 chance of dropping it. Got it? Good, much like everything else. And it's a 2 in 100 chance if you're in expert mode, but chances are you're in normal mode if you're here learning about the Ankh shield. So, we're going to hang out here for a bit. We're going to run around. I've already shown you the Rusty Armored Bones on the screen, so you guys know what it looks like. We're going to run around for a couple minutes, and when it shows up and drops, well, we'll come back to it. Sound good? Good. Alright, so there we go. I waited a couple minutes, a few showed up, and eventually, yes, we finally got one. Let's wander over here, and as you can see, the hasty Adhesive Bandage is right there. So there we go, perfect. Did we get any more over here? Now, the nice thing is, coming into the dungeon, especially post-Plantera, you get so many drops. Ectoplasm, Depth Meter, so many. Oh, is that? Oh, it's a Morning Star. See, you can get a lot of good drops. That is the bonus about coming down here. You can get a lot of good drops depending on what you're looking for, depending on the time of game that you're at. But it is tricky. So, if you can manage to hang out down here and maybe have some summons to take care of some things for you, you'll be fine and you can get yourself an Adhesive Bandage. If not, I don't recommend coming here. At least not until you're super powerful, and then you'll be fine. Ooh, what is that? Ooh, an Inferno Fork. I don't even think I've seen one of them before. I probably have, let's be honest. Alright, so there you go. That's how to get the Adhesive Bandage drop from the dungeon. Next up, we're going to go with the Anglerfish. Alright, second option is the Anglerfish, and you can find the Anglerfish either in the Cavern Lair or in the Underground Jungle. Now, we are in the Underground Jungle in the Cavern Lair, and as you can see by my map here, we have a little bit of water off to the side. I dropped a water candle, table, hung out, and it'll swim over, and we'll take it out, and we got a 1 in 100 chance of getting ourselves an Adhesive Bandage from an Anglerfish. Beyond that, your best bet is just to run around the jungle like this, and eventually hopefully get one, and it'll drop, and yay! But if not, you can always set up a little mini arena like I have right here. Do I have one that drops? Probably not, but if we spend some time down here, I'm sure we get one drop, no problem. Now, where else can you find an Anglerfish? Alright, the other option I have found is going underground into the Cavern Lair and finding a large body of water. It'll work in a mushroom biome, it'll work in a regular biome, but yeah, basically just hang out next to a body of water, have your water candle set up, eventually one will swim them over, and I gotta tell you, I mean, I've had a Beam Sword drop, I've had a Philosopher's Stone drop, I've had a Whoopee Cushion drop, there are truffle worms. I'm loving the idea of doing this in a mushroom biome, so that's an option as well, but again, this is another one of those things where you're probably just going to run around and have one drop eventually, but if you don't, you can set up a farm just like this one. Got it? Good. And finally, the last way to get one is through the Werewolf. Now, I won't show you the setup here, but basically what you want to do is you want to get to a full moon. So, as you can see right there, it says Waning Gibbous. If you want, as the sun goes past and the moon comes up, if it is a full moon and it says full moon, you will have werewolves spawning a lot more frequently. So again, water candle and table, chill out, you'll get a lot of werewolves show up, and you have a chance of the Adhesive Bandage dropping. Sound good? Good. I won't give you the whole setup for that. It's the same idea, but nighttime, full moon, and werewolves. Got it? Great. Now, let's move on. Alright, now on to the Megaphone. Now the Megaphone, I will say, it actually has 4 mobs that I can drop up from, but I'll say 3, because one mob is the Dark/Blood Mummy, which comes from a Corrupt Desert or a Crimson Desert. So if you have a Crimson or Corrupt Desert, again, simple farm with a table and a water candle will do great for you. Secondly, green jellyfish. Now, green jellyfish you find in water. You'll find blue jellyfish in pre-hard mode, and green jellyfish replace them in hard mode. So body of water, if you see a green jellyfish, they're floating around, take it out, you can get yourself a Megaphone. Same odds as everything else. Nice and simple, right? So those are more of the, you know, if you do have a corrupted or crimson desert, set up a mob farm. If you don't, green jellyfish, you'll just find one through the world. Again, you can set up a table if you want to with a water candle, have more spawn frequently. But we're going to focus on the pixie one. The pixies are the third mob that you can use to find a Megaphone, and I have a feeling this is going to be a lot easier. So I'm going to head over to the Hallow, and I'll meet you in there in 1 second. Alright, here we are in the Hallow, and like I said, while the other options are viable for running around the game, or if you have a Corruption or a Crimson Desert, that's fine and dandy, but more than likely you will have a Hallow that you can use to set up a little mini farm here. Again, not very difficult. Water candle table. You hang out in the middle like this. See, we got a couple sentries set up like that. We got our minions going if you're a summoner. If not, you can run around like a maniac if you want to. And all we're going to do now is hang out here and wait for pixies. Now, pixies are obviously a hard mode mob that show up in the Hallow. If you're new to the game, you don't have a hallowed biome until hard mode. Got it? Good. So once you get to hard mode, you have your hallowed biome. Once you get geared up a little bit, don't get all crazy. Be like, I'm going to jump in there and take on like unicorns and stuff, even though I have, you know, wood armor. Don't do that. Make sure you have some decent gear. Make sure you can farm it. And then, like I said, you're going to want to have your water candle. You're going to want to have your table, set that up. If you're lucky and you have a summoner, you can use sentries, you can use minions, and just kind of chill out or float around if you want. Now, we're going to wait for about, let's give it 5-10 minutes. We'll see what drops, and I'll catch you guys back here in a minute. Alright, there we go. We waited a couple minutes, and as you can see, we had a Megaphone drop, we had Pixie Dust drop, we had some Unicorn Horns, so those are important if you want to make Holy Arrows. Holy Arrows? Unholy? Holy Arrows, right? Holy, yes. The other one, yeah, okay. So, Holy Arrows. So, Pixie Dust, like I said, you can get a lot of cool drops here. 1 in 100 chance, as everything else is. 2 in 100 if you're in expert mode. But there you go. Nice and simple. You just kind of chill out, make your arena, and grab yourself a Megaphone. Now, having said that, now that we're done that, you're like, oh, Raz, this is nice and simple. We're done now, right? No. We're not done yet because I have one more thing to show you guys, which I didn't in the last video, but this is why we're doing these ones now. So, I'm going to meet you guys in the Shimmer, in the Ether biome at the Shimmer, and we'll show you another way to get these items. Alright, here we are in the Ether biome, hanging out over top of the Shimmer, and yeah, we got one more way that we can make either, if we want a Nazar, we can make the Bazaar, Adhesive, Bandage, Megaphone, we can make all 4. How do you do that? It's simple. Remember the Shimmer? So what we're going to do, we had, let's put these up here, that with that, and that with that, that with that. We'll put these over here like this. There we go. Okay, so we had a Bazaar last time, right? And we need an Adhesive Bandage. Now, I have 15 Bazaars, but I don't have an Adhesive Bandage, and I really need one, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to walk over here. Ready? We're going to take that right there. Go like this. Drop it on in and watch carefully. Wait for it. Wait for it. Hey, Adhesive Bandage. Now, if that's not good enough, you're like, oh, no, I didn't have enough Bazaars. I should turn that back. Well, good news. You can't drop that in there. Ta-da! And there you go. It switches back to the Bazaar. And finally, as you can see here, the Nazar, yeah, it goes over there. The Nazar, I said the Nazar, thank you. The Megaphone, thank you. If you watch them carefully, Nazar goes into Megaphone. Megaphone goes into Nazar. So there you go. If you have too many of one item and not enough of another, which I have happened to me a lot, you can also throw them into the Shimmer and make them switch to their counterpart. Sound good? Good. Now, let's finish the video up. Alright, there we go, gang. That is how to find yourself the Megaphone and the Adhesive Bandage. Adhesive Bandage, right? I would get that. Yeah, okay, I got that right. So that is how to find the Megaphone and the Adhesive Bandage here in Terraria for all platforms. Now, I am hanging out over here at the Tinkerer's Workshop, and we'll talk about these two down the road. But for now, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope I helped you guys out. If I did, as I always say, please subscribe right now. We're trying to hit that 100K. We can't do it without your help. Secondly, hit the bell notifications so you know when I go live, drop a new video. Number 3, like and comment down below. And number 4, check out the description. There's a lot of cool links. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Take care. Thanks for watching. Ciao.